And welcome back to more Super Smash Bros. So last time, we got through every stage in Bonus 1, Break the Targets. So this time we're going to take a look at Bonus 2. So like with Break the Targets, each character has a unique variant of Board the Platforms that is tailored to their abilities. For the sake of variety, I think we're going to start with Jigglypuff and the bonus characters. Alright, so, in my opinion, we are starting out with the worst stage in the game. This has tripped me up so many times. First of all, there's this section here, where you have to just kind of hope the platform rises up from under you. I sometimes get that really quickly, other times it takes forever. Following that is this really frustrating section with all these bumpers. I have gotten stuck here for like a ridiculously long amount of time because of just getting really bad luck here. So next is this platform that you have to kind of like fall onto. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, but this jump here is surprisingly scary. And I'm amazed that worked. I thought I was gonna barely miss it. So next up is Luigi. Alright, so Luigi's stage is pretty easy by comparison, but I tend to still mess it up from time to time. I like the blue background for the platforms. It gives me a Mario Bros. Vibe, like the arcade one. So I feel like that's probably intentional, but I also think some of these platforms are just reused from Mario DK's bonus stages and then just made blue to match the aesthetic. To be fair, I'm wondering now if that's actually how they worked on the original Mario Bros. If they reused some amount of assets from DK. Alright, so this platform is giving me trouble for some reason. From here we should be good to go. This last jump is a little bit scary. What I like to do is hug the wall, so I don't overshoot the platform with a B. Alright, so next up is Captain Falcon. Alright, so as a heads up, I'm going to do this stage in a completely different way than intended. So you're supposed to follow the arrows, hence why the arrows are there. I don't like doing that though, it feels scary. So what I like to do is go out of the stage there, and then make my way backwards. For some reason, I don't screw up this very often, even though this feels really scary. I can do this way more consistently than actually going the intended way. So, I'm not sure why that is, but the final jumps just feel really scary otherwise, so this just feels super consistent. And finally, for the bonus characters, is Ness. By comparison, Ness's stage is actually not that bad, compared to the other three. It does require some finicky movement, because some platforms require PK Thunder. But the nice thing is, they don't really put platforms in positions where you have to use PK Thunder over pits. So for example here, if you botch it, you'll just fall down and be able to try again. No risk of having to start over. So it's somehow difficult, but also more forgiving than some of the other stages. Which is actually kind of nice. So I found out an unintended way to do this part. You can actually land on the upper ledge, and then drop down to the platform instead of having to aim for that little nook in the ceiling. So I like to land here and double jump instead of trying to aim for that spot. It's just a lot more consistent. I found that out by complete accident. So that's all the bonus characters. So let's move on to the main roster in reverse order. So first up is Pikachu. We've seen this stage before. It's easy. Think of it as a little respite after those surprisingly difficult stages. And before the next round of really difficult stages. We have a couple I'm really worried about coming up soon. Specifically Kirby, Yoshi, and Samus are very, very technical. and I'm very concerned about how well those stages are gonna go. So yeah, Kirby and also Fox are kind of a nice little break. And speaking of which, next up is Fox. This stage is actually pretty cool. So you have a moving platform. It does respawn, by the way, so if you lose track of it, just wait and you'll get another platform sooner or later, thankfully. We have this here, we can jump up to, and from here I like to double back. And by the time I've doubled back, another platform usually has showed up by then, and then I can kind of resume the normal course. Or I could just get comboed by bumpers, that works too. Oh, that's scary. I'm gonna wait. Never mind, I don't need to wait. It's like, fine. I am playing with fire. Speaking of fire, you do need an up B to get that. Okay. That's scary. I really don't like the bumpers in this game. They're really mean in how they're utilized for these bonus stages. So yeah, Firefox up, and you're good to go. So we have a little bit of a gauntlet of hard stages, starting with Kirby's. So, the last jump of Kirby's stage is really easy to botch. And also, this jump here I find really easy to botch. So what I like to do is kind of air stall, like very carefully, and then try to fast fall by tapping down as soon as I'm between the top platform and the platform you have to land on. Outside of that, it's a little bit of a break until we get to the final jump, which requires a very precise set of repeated jumps, and then doing the final cutter move with good timing. It's simultaneously less generous and more generous at the same time, and I don't know how to exactly describe that in a way that makes sense. It does feel like Kirby gets a lot of height, but I find it really easy to accidentally run out of jumps and then lose enough height before I realize it and then fall. So another really difficult stage is Yoshi's. Alright, so Yoshi's stage is best handled by going fast for this first part, because if you can make it to this first platform as it's falling and not having to wait for it to come back around, that really makes things easier. And these jumps are really scary, but not too bad. That was really smooth, actually. I'm not surprised that's a new record, because normally I kind of flounder a lot there. So yeah, next is Samus, the last of what I would consider to be the hard stages. This one's not even that bad. Like, it's pretty easy, it's just one jump is really finicky. Really, the difference between Jigglypuff's stage and Samus' stage is the last jump is a little bit more forgiving. If you botch the last jump of Samus' stage, you fall down, but you have plenty of platforms to land on, potentially. With Jigglypuff's final jump, if you botch it, then you just fall and have to restart. And because of how obnoxious the rest of Jigglypuff's stage is, it just gets really annoying to have to replay it. So here we actually have to kind of morph ball away under there. And this part is what I dislike about this stage. We have to very precisely double jump and then screw attack to get to that platform. Also not surprised that that was a new record, apparently, based on how much trouble that gives me. So now it should be smooth sailing from here, starting with Link. I say that, but Link's does give me some trouble. Alright, so I am going to ignore that middle platform for now, and this platform over here. We're gonna get those on the way back, and hopefully I won't forget. If I forget, that will be really, really bad, because there's no way to get back up here. You have to go left first, otherwise you will be stuck. So yes, not forgetting this platform, and yes, I have forgotten this platform before, so I'm making a mental note not to leave it behind. And these final two platforms are a little bit scary, like, not horrible, but a little bit intimidating, because Link's spin jump I find to be a little bit, lower than in later Smash Bros. Games, so it's a little bit difficult to get used to. So down to our final two characters, starting with DK. So DK's stage is very horizontal in layout, I would say. DK's recovery move definitely is somewhat horizontal in design, so it makes sense. But this is actually really cool. Here, we actually have ground beneath us that does damage us, but it does give us a little bit of a buffer if we mess up that jump. We have to do that again, except this time, we don't have ground, so it's a nice little way to warm me up for this jump here. Kind of cool game design, but not that difficult. And finally, we have Mario. So, Mario actually has one of the easiest stages. We have a couple rising and falling platforms that we actually have to worry about as we pass beneath as well. But beyond that, this is really easy going. Again, this is why I started with the harder stages first, and worked my way backwards, for the sake of consistency. Alright, gotta jump up here. This jump, you can either land on that with an up B, or you could just up B straight to the platform, like that. And with that, I think we have done all of the bonus games. You cannot practice bonus 3 because, to be really blunt, it's the same for every character, so the only unique stages are the ones that you can play freely. So, what do you get by completing bonus 1 practice and bonus 2 practice? You unlock something down in data. We'll go into these first two options next time, but by completing every, break the target stage and every board the platform stage, you unlock a full sound test. So you have all the music, you have a ton of sound effects, and you have different voice lines. It's pretty cool, actually. A lot of work to unlock it, a lot of practice required, but yeah, kind of a neat little unlock. I can't think of many other games from this time period that had, like, full soundtracks, or like a full sound test, especially even sound effects, and yeah, there are a ton of them. How many voice clips are there? Now I'm curious. There are a lot. You can kind of gauge it by, like, what character is speaking, I think. Okay, now we're in announcer voices. Wow, that is a ton of voice lines. But yeah, this is a pretty robust sound test, actually. Definitely need to have an unlockable for these modes. Obviously, you can also complete these in the one-player game mode. It's just a lot easier because you can actually just repeatedly try them in this mode. And so, with that being said, there's actually not that much left to go over. So next time we're going to finish off this playthrough with a look at anything that we haven't seen so far. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Super Smash Bros.